Okay, this is Voodoo Magic back with you, doing another Minecraft video. This is Minecraft. It's Tekkit Classic, which is the only one I ever play because I love it. I love EMC. I don't want to leave EMC, so you can have your other ones. This is my baby. So what I'm going to show you here is a really neat setup for a quarry. For those of you who haven't seen quarries, go around and they mine stone and whatever is in here, and they go back and forth and go deeper and deeper into the ground until they hit the bedrock. This is going at a clip pace, not real fast. They can run faster, but you'd have to have better engines and things like this, and I'm not in a hurry. So let's just show you how this works. Now I'm going to in another video show you how to make a quarry, but I'm just going to show you that this quarry engine here is being powered by these steam engines. The steam engines are turned on by these little switches here, but they don't do anything unless they have fuel to burn. Okay, so you have 4 steam engines. I could put more, but I decided four is enough, and I think I had 6 of them at one point, and this thing exploded. But so anyway, so each one of these, turn off, turn them back on. And they're being fed, as you see, by little blocks of wood coming in here and it's feeding these, but notice they're always empty. I'll explain that in a minute. Well, mainly it's because they get fed a little bit slower than they actually produce energy. They'll burn it up before they, a few seconds before they get another one. And I timed that just right so that these wouldn't fill up. These little pipes here wouldn't fill it, because I think you can only put one thing in here at a time. Right? Maybe you can put more than one, but still, when they get too full, they'll start dropping them out on the ground. Now I could have put a energy condenser with a void ring in it to pick up all of the excess that fell out, but let's just get these working the way I wanted. So what you see here is 4 different pipes, each of them feeding an engine, a steam engine. Notice that how some of these connect like that and some don't. Now if you put, one of these is cobblestone and one of these is stone, I forget which, but if you put a cobblestone next to a cobblestone, it'll connect, and I didn't want that. So cobblestone and stone don't connect when you put them right next to each other. So I have 4 different ones. This has got a space between it, so that's why they don't touch. That's why they don't connect. And they each are fed by wood that's being shot out of this box here. So this is a really neat setup. Let me show you this. Okay, here we have an energy collector and an antimatter relay. And that I've shown those how to use those and create those in another video. But here we have energy condensers. Notice that this is the thing it's building. It's making wood out of energy. These things collect energy, and the antimatter relay is relaying them into 4 energy condensers. Okay, so the wood comes into the energy condenser. It's being created, and sooner or later, when this comes out, it's going to pop that guy out, and there it goes. It goes into a box, to this what do you call these things? Chest. Now the chest is connected to a wood pipe, which is what you have to use with a chest to pump things out of it. And we got a little engine here. Simply, this is a regular engine. Let's see, it's a wood engine. Let's look at engines here. So this is a redstone engine. The steam engines are the ones over there because they need to provide a little bit more power. The redstone engines are not enough power to drive that thing very well at all. So these redstone engines are just enough to pump out the blocks of wood that come in here. And like I said, you got this box. This is a filter. Filters are used to filter things, and basically this filter is set up to filter wood out of this box. You can fill this up with whatever you want, and whatever those things are, that's what gets pumped out of this box. Now they are powered, of course, by power here. Now to make a filter, let's just go over this really quick. I can show the details of this in another video, but basically filters are kind of a pain to make. You need pistons, which require Let's see. Yeah, there's a piston for you. So anyway, but the hardest thing to make are these red doped wafers. All these are easy, gold and stuff like this. Redstone's easy to find. Silicon wafers, though, you have to make using a diamond hacksaw and a silicon boule. Silicon boules you have to create an alloy furnace using coal and sand. An alloy furnace right here is used. You have to use bricks to create this alloy furnace. So we take a brick, and that's used by these. You have to create these little bricks to make the big brick. Little bricks are created by clay and whatever you want to burn inside of a smelting container. I think I thought you could make these in a regular furnace. I'm pretty sure you can make it in a regular furnace. I don't think you need a smelter. But let's look up smelt. No, you just burn them in a regular furnace. So the clay, you have to go into a swamp and dig in the water surrounding a swamp to get the clay. But once you have clay and once you start using EMC, you'll never have to go back to that swamp again. Okay, so now we got our filters, we got our pumps, we got our chests. Everything is being fed, and like I said, these are feeding these just slightly slower than they're actually consuming them. So consuming them just a little bit faster so that we don't fill them up, and this is how they are powered. Every filter needs power. Now, I could power them with switches like this, which is powering the Redstone Engine, but the problem is then it wouldn't work. These have to be turned on and off. If it's constantly on, it'll only work one time. Then you have to turn it back off and manually, turn it back on manually to pump it again. I need something to pump it every now and then, so I created a timer. The timer, when it gets right over here, it'll turn, it'll flash, and then turn this thing on, and you'll see there you go. So it makes this filter pump one time, one box out of here, one piece of wood out of here going to here, and let's watch it pump. There it goes. Okay, so now this is just the right speed in order to do what I want it to do, and you can change the timer interval, of course, with timers. And now this right here, redstone, can only go 11 blocks, I believe, before it stops powering things. So you'll see that the red would go down a certain distance and then stop, and everything past it will be dark. So what I needed over here, I needed some extra distance. So I created a, let's see, not a relay. Is it a relay? No, it's a relay. I don't know. What is this thing called? Whatever. I'll think of it in a minute. But it basically will extend the power another distance to go over here and pump and power these two. And I wanted to do these all with one timer, so that's why it's repeater. That's what this sucker has. Sorry, I know it started with re. So anyway, so this is all really neat. This took me a while to set this up, believe me. And the last thing to show you is what happens. So this thing, what happens with all this stuff that comes out of the quarry? Well, right now I have it going up here, and see the gold pipe. So we have this regular pipe, which is different than these two. This is one's cobblestone and one's stone, so they don't connect. And this shoots everything up to go through the gold pipe, which speeds up things, and shoots them through this teleportation pipe. And the last thing is to do where is all this going? All these things that I'm quarrying. Well, let's go over here, and I'll show you. All these pillars that I create are used to help me find the entrances to my home. And here's the one I like to use the most. Using my Swift Wolf's Rending Gale in my inventory, I can fly, like I just showed you, and I can also fall and not hurt myself when I hit the ground. Everything you see in this game that I do, I create using in-game mods. I do not use creative mode. that is just boring. I go through the process of doing everything manually, so I feel a sense of accomplishment. So let's go over the last phase of this. Okay, so that last teleportation pipe, I set it up to be a transmitter. This is a set it to be receive. The other one is meant to be a transmit. And what you do is you take a you change the frequency to match the frequency of the other one, and make this one receive and the other one transmit, and whatever comes out of that one comes into this one. And notice it still has the momentum of the speed from that gold pipe, and it feeds it right down into the energy condenser. Energy condenser, of course, is used to take energy, take things that get fed into it that have EMC, like cobblestone, and it eats them up and puts them here, and whenever it reaches this much EMC in this item, it creates one of those items. Actually, this is all dark. I forget this sometimes. There we go. A whole lot nicer. When you have words in there, for some reason it gets irritatingly dark. Okay, so now notice everything that has EMC it will eat, but not things that don't have EMC. Ooh, that would have been scary. Philosopher's stones don't have EMC, so that nothing happens to them. But you take a piece of iron, there it gets eaten up. These don't have EMC, so everything that comes out of the quarry, like all this ore, stacks up in this box. And when I get the stacks I want, I can take the stacks over and smelt them and turn them into things, which is really kind of, you know, I don't like to waste things, but still, that's not really needed since I've got so much EMC generation going on that I can basically create anything I want. I mean, we have 407,000 EMC, and I could make 49 diamonds just like that. So let's put these diamonds back in here and put this right here back in here and just start eating those up. But anyway, there you go. So I've shown you what I do and what that quarry, that little setup I have. I thought you might find that interesting, and I hope you appreciate it. So this is Voodoo Magic with Minecraft Tekkit Classic. Little tutorial on one of the really neat things I've built, which is a automated self-sustaining quarry.